Hello and welcome to this week's vlog.
So we're driving out of our village, and we've said this before, in the UK and a lot of the Western world, we sort of moan at countries with rainforests, and it's disgusting. They're slashing down their rainforests to plant profitable crops so their farmers and the governments can make a living and an income out of it. And you know, we're kind of disgusted by it and all the animals and that. But a bit like charity, you know, conservation must start at home. There's plenty to do here in the UK. And we're driving, as you can see, through the countryside, out of our village. We're actually on the way to Icarus Falconry. But now there's going to be a big rail freight kind of terminal built here. It's being built now. And they were arable land, so they're hardly a wildlife haven. But there is set aside, and obviously some hedgerows still. And devastation. It's big machinery now. It's all been ripped out. And like, as far as the eye can see, it's almost shocking there's not an orangutan on a digger bucket somewhere. It's that destructive looking. Have a look to the left here. It's hard to see through the hedge here, but have a look over here and you can see where it's been flattened. And as we come down the hill, you'll actually see all the earthworks, and we're not talking an acre or two. It's absolutely amazing. So here it's starting to be levelled off, and the earthworks, this wasn't here, this mound of earth before, but further down they've ripped out the hedgerow. And it's like, as far as the eye can see, it's just levelled land. Every hedge, every tree, every bit of set aside, and of course all the crops of the year have all been ripped out. Look at this, is all infrastructure that's gone in the last few weeks that was admittedly large fields, but fields surrounded by hedgerow. All this was tree lined, you couldn't see through into these fields, and it's quite phenomenal how much they can do. Look at the machinery over there. And then here, just have a look back left a second, Jordan. Over to the distance, there's a lone tree. Look, a tree not in leaf yet, but it sort of looks like it's help. It's just been left. All of this infrastructure, really, as you drive out of our village, we are moving. I guess it's not going to affect us in the next few weeks onwards, but when you've lived somewhere over 20 years, it's shocking to see that amount of devastation. And all around Northamptonshire, because the M1 runs through, it's become really just a corridor for warehousing. We used to, you know, build stuff in the UK, and we used to build a lot of stuff in England, but it's just a warehouse now. And all the fields I played in, snaked, went owling, spent in the countryside as a kid, they are now all built on with either housing or industry.
So, I'm just starting to mow the lawn for the first time this year. Looking a bit better. We do this. Okay. That's it. Okay. You restrain beast.
Everyone, good go. Ready?
Should I have on it?
Whatever's on there now. Whatever's on there now will do.
I'm gonna have it on here, yeah? How much slack?
That'll do. Just get a long way away because she's going to catch you up in about 10 seconds flat.
I'm gonna get a little bit more.
If she chases this, we'll try her on the lure machine tomorrow. Good girl. Go. Carl, watch. We're going to put her on the lure machine.
I want to be able to watch.
No, just run. You run and I'll tell her to get it. Get it! Faster! Oh my God! As he's chasing you! Oh. Oh dear.
Wait, Bronte. Get it! Get it, Bronte! She's trying to get you. So, I wanted to do the underwater camera today. You can see from here it's just too murky. Because, look, I don't know if you can see it. There's some frog spawn in there. What are you doing?
I'm just getting some food for Shy the tortoise, so a little bit of stinging nettles, believe it or not. We've got some plantains. So we're just getting a weed diet and then we're going to go and get some grass because she's a grazing animal, the subcount tortoise. So a couple of nice fresh stinging nettle shoots. That's looking good there. Let's see what else we can find. A little bit of red campion. Not too much because I want it to flower. Looking for some more plantain, to be quite honest. Grass. This is quite active now. She's in an indoor enclosure because it's still too cold for her to go out. But she's really getting quite active. And she's active, so she's eating a lot now as well, of course. Anyone that follows our vlog, you guys will know that here at Icarus Falconry, the staff are uber passionate about vultures. They're seriously in decline and they seriously need our awareness and therefore our help. So when those girls are taking out our guests on experience days, when it comes to flying vultures, they really not only know their stuff, but in a fun and sort of entertaining way, they really try and get that message across that not only are vultures super intelligent and beautiful, which people don't really think of at first glance, they're lovely to work with, certainly the small and medium-sized vultures we have here, and that message and seeing them fly gets people behind them and realising their beauty, especially when they can see them fly and soar as nature intended, rather than just feeding. But we also work alongside not only the vulture projects, but we also work alongside Project Lugger, headed up by really Bob Dalton and his team. A completely different species of bird, a falcon that was totally common. It still is reasonably common, I guess, but it's in serious decline. And again, a bit like the vultures, it's in decline purely because of us humans, nothing else really, and that's the problem. So of course, getting awareness where it lives in Pakistan and India, and getting awareness with worldwide falconers, because falconers are the driving force behind bird of prey conservation. Just like the people that are most keen on fish are fishermen, and that's the way it is. People look after the rivers and streams and lakes. When I was a kid in England, were the fishermen and the fishing clubs. This falcon here, for people my age and older, was once when birds of prey were imported, a really cheap import as almost a first falcon to kind of try your luck, or try your hand in falconry with a long wing. Those days are long gone. We work with captive bred birds. We've realised we can breed some of the classier or the better falconry falcons, if you like, reasonably easy in captivity. captive bred luggers fell by the wayside. So now Bob and his team at Project Lugger, they're working with falconry centres and breeding projects throughout the UK and the world to not only breed a really good genetic stock of luggers, not inbred, keeping a bit of a stud book so we know they're good genetic stock, and they're also working overseas where these guys naturally occur and trying to get the falconers there and the governments there to look at what's happening. And this is something you guys can research. Have a look at this image here. Tells you a little bit about it, really, the shocking truth of why the lugger is becoming such a declining species. So for our part, we had a Lugger Falcon here, and she spent a season with us, flying in our demonstrations, flying to guests, and a real live bird. And that's what we need. That's what we do here at Icarus Falconry / Raptor Exotics. It's just getting people hands-on, tangibly close, even to touch some of the animals, to really fuel that desire to help them. We've been luggerless for a year due to COVID, so it's a full year now. And if things pick up as they are doing and we get back to some normality, maybe by the end of this summer, we'll have another Lugger Falcon. The other one, she went back into a breeding program. And for us here at Icarus, we don't breed birds of prey ourselves. Our education is through exposure to the public, really. So we're lucky to be involved in Project Lugger because we get to have a free Lugger Falcon, if you like, and we'll keep that bird for 1, 2, 3 years until it's up to breeding age, and then it gets returned to the breeding project side of Project Lugger. So they become an ambassador for their species here at Icarus Falconry, and then they go and do good work to keep that sort of good gene pool in captivity, in the hope if they're needed they can be repatriated. So it's worth following. If you like your conservation, you like your birds of prey, check out Project Lugger, check out the Facebook pages, and really get behind it. Buy a wristband, just anything small. We get behind it by hands-on education with the birds, but what the wider public is, a little bit of donations, maybe buy a wristband, but really just make yourself aware of this wonderful, beautiful species that we can work to help. And that's the kind of best kind of conservation, where you know you can do something and it can, if we can get it right, make a complete difference to this species. It's not verging on extinction, and where it is heading can be completely and utterly 100% reversed through education and conservation. Enjoy the rest of the vlog. Sorry, Manny. Like that, did he? Didn't really do him justice. He's such a handsome devil. Sorry, Manny. That's what you've been doing there, Emily.
We've just been changing these Jessies because they got a bit old and dry, and the ends broke off, so we've put some nice new ones on and greased them up.
Ready for action.
Yeah.
Still noisy. Well, it's the first day of 2021 that Shy, our sulcata tortoise, is out foraging. Now it's only about 11 degrees, so like now when the sun goes in, it's just gone behind a small cloud, but if it clouds up any more than this, then she'll go back into a heated indoor enclosure. But we're wondering, do any of you guys watching this video remember meeting her on our Homey House / Icarus Falconry open days at the tail end of last summer? Because she was roaming around with our European spur-thighed tortoises in the tortoise paddock, and she was a massive hit, certainly with the kids. Seemingly more so with young girls, for sure. Her two kind of pen pals, if you like, they're still hibernating, and they'll be due to wake up sort of any time in April, really. We're going to give them another couple of weeks, I think. It'll be nice to see the tortoises roaming around again on these sunshiny days, soaking up natural ultraviolet light. And although it's only 10 degrees, you could equate that to probably, with the temp gun, about 30 degrees on her shell in the sun. So it's plenty warm enough as long as the sun is out. Off she goes. Check out the rest of the vlog. Now we're picking eggs up. know what Brian Barczyk would say, wouldn't you? Egg time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Little mouse. And a snake.
I even got my hair